Good morning, this is Jack from theartchart.net, and this is the pre-market recording for Tuesday, the 17th of November. Our disclaimer, we do this for educational purposes only. We're here to share our technical analysis with you. We hope you can take some of what we're doing and learn from it, transfer it to your own charts, but not here to issue trading signals. Right, yes, still haven't retested yesterday's high, likely going to. We're coming, we're basically at almost the test of the weekly pivot at 35.85. Probably going to see that test short term. It looks like a bear flag forming, so we're probably going to retest the overnight low. Obvious target is to test the weekly pivot. That's probably going to hold. But what I would say is, yesterday morning sell signals have fixed. We got a sell signal on a weak sell signal on ES. We got a full sell signal on RTY, and we got a full sell signal on YM, and none of those have reached the possible near miss target. Chances are it's going to need a little more downside. I'm thinking weekly pivot test on ES, and maybe a little lower. After that, I'm thinking we're likely to be starting another leg up, retest the overnight high, and very possibly go back and retest the all-time high. Although I would note that the all-time high on ES is some 15 handles higher than the one on SPX, and really they need to both be tested. I have, however, seen one tested and not the other, and that lasts for a few weeks, so we'll see. NQ, we didn't have any divergence there. This has been pretty weak. This whole thing looks like a bear flag forming. That may well be because it is a bear flag forming, so we will see how that goes. Sooner or later, I'm thinking this high is going to be retested on NQ, but it doesn't need to be now, and there is a rotation out of text here, as it appears that we've got a vaccine coming on the way, which we probably have, although likely that wouldn't have been fully implemented for a few months. RTY on a sell signal, likely to go a little lower, I think. Don't know how much lower. Weekly pivot possibly, although that's still quite a way down. YM, a weekly pivot is closer. Again, may well be a target. DAX and the STX. DAX is consolidating before a likely retest of this high here, and very possibly a retest of the all-time high after that. ESTX already did that retest, so we had a little bit of, we had a very weak sell signal at the high. Might go a little lower first, but leaning towards higher after that too. Okay, let's have a look at the RTH charts. SPX, we are not close to a 60-minute sell signal, but we are, although we can easily get one on the RSI 5, but I'm thinking if we went back and retested the high, which is 36.45 here, 36.46. So actually, yes, the high on ES is some 25 handles higher. That's actually quite a lot higher. But this is very much in reach, and if we see that, then that would deliver a daily sell signal on SPX, likely one also on Dow and RTY, which of course is IWM here. Let's have a quick look at those. Don't think we quite retested that high, but we came very close. As soon as we do, we got a nice looking possible RSI 5 sell signal brewing on Dow. We would have on a retest likely have a decent RSI 5 sell signal brewing on IWM, and of course we would have one on SPX as well. Okay, moving on, DX. DX has broken down. The IHS has invalidated. The head and shoulders on Euro USD, which is the one I've mainly been following, has invalidated too. I'm expecting to see a low retest here. That could be the second low of a double bottom, or it could just continue down. CB, I was leaning towards seeing a retest of this high. We've seen it. We do actually have, of course, pattern targets slightly above. I'm leaning towards this going a bit higher. We have no current negative diversions. The pattern targets are in effect at about 173.02 through to the 173.12 area. CL, we have a possible head and shoulders forming here. It's not a bad one. If we see a sustained break below 40.4, then that would look for a target really at about the 37.5 to 38 area. We would have a very obvious target at the monthly pivot at 37.54. This may be setting up for a test of that. NG reach stands 2.7 target. And it's got a possible 60-minute buy signal brewing. Stan was thinking this would go lower and then reverse back up and might be starting a big leg up. This could be that. Basically, it's at that low. We've got positive divergence. He could be right. GC, dollar's going down, so I'm still wondering whether this is a flag and going to need a retest. Stan's thinking that dollar goes down, and then we see a rally again. Maybe it will do the retest then, maybe it won't do the retest. SI, again, looks like a flag. If that breaks down, we'll be setting up a retest at this low here in about the 23.65 area. Waiting for dollar there. HG, we didn't have any negative divergence here, but this is a sharp fall off the rise. I think Stan was talking about a possible test. I mean, if we were topping out here, the obvious target would be this possible head and shoulder neckline in the 3.025 area. Not really seeing anything saying that I'm expecting that, but certainly if we got down there, that's the level I would be watching. UUSD, the head and shoulder failed, likely on the way back to retest the high. GBP USD trickling up a bit. Likely to retest this high, may well go on to retest this high here just under 1.35. USD JPY is falling with the dollar. So we had a nice double top here. That's pretty much made target. Not seeing any obvious sign that this is going to reverse back up, and really expecting it to continue down. USD CAD, we've still got an IHS up here, and it still hasn't been validated. Probably going to invalidate soon. Once it invalidates, then I'm looking at a retest of 1.2925, but not until it does. So it needs to get below here, which is about 1.3035. Australian dollar has retested the high, I think. Is that a full retest? Yep. Not seeing much sign of reversal, really leaning higher here, but obviously we do have possible double top resistance. NZUSD, nice looking potential double top has formed here now. 60-minute sell signal is fixed, could see a bit of weakness here. We will see. KC has broken up from the larger double bottom with a target, alternate targets in the 1.2375 and 1.2625 areas. I'm thinking it might make it, but in the short term, we have a weak 60-minute sell signal fixed, and it looks like it's going to backtest at least the broken double bottom resistance, which is in the 1.16 area. SB has continued higher. Rumors of Sugar's death have most definitely been exaggerated. Waiting. I don't have any trendline resistance up until about the 15.75 area, and it may be heading for that in an expansion of this original wedge. CC. CC has reached the retest of the high and gone higher. A weak 60-minute sell signal fixed and failed. So nothing saying this isn't going higher. If we were looking at a large reversal here, then we'd be looking at this possible IHS neckline in, well, this area, 25 area. So we could see a right shoulder pullback here. If so, that could be the start of a move that would take us back considerably higher. Wheat still forming a flag. Corn rising slightly with gold. No current negative divergence. Soy. Soy has retested the high. Not really much to say. It's going to reverse here. Possible double top resistance here. Cotton. Still thinking this is probably going to retest this low here. So leaning towards that, where the weak 60-minute buy signal made target, obviously we've got no negative divergence to the high. LE. LE still leaning a little lower, although we pretty much made it 38.2% fib now. Wondering about a test of the monthly pivot at 110.82. Do we have positive divergence? We do not. If we retest this high again, that would give us some. LB. No, we've now got a full-size potential 60-minute sell signal brewing. This could deliver to the downside, but obviously that hasn't fixed yet. Lean hogs, nice looking double bottom here. Thinking this may well actually break up, but at the moment it's just chilling out in this area. So might be forming a bearish triangle, setting up another retest of this low. We'll see. Okay, what questions we got today, guys? ES and RTY recap, no worries. ES, we're on a weak 6-minute sell signal, RTY on a full sell signal, Dow on a full sell signal. Chances are these have a little further to go. This looks like kind of looks like a flag forming from the low, and the ideal flag high for that would be at about the 3601/2 area. Leaning towards seeing a retest of the overnight low after that. Gold, I'd say even odds. Actually, I'm not seeing any particular reason for a large gold rally. Sorry, a large dollar rally, and I'm not really seeing much reason why gold would retest the low without it. Sometimes gold just does higher lows, and sometimes it can form something like this. This does look like a flag, and that's why the chance isn't higher, because it looks to me as though the dollar's on the way down, and apart from rallies, it's probably going to be on the way down for a long time. Yeah, even odds. Okay, on ES, looking for weekly pivot, might need a little lower to make the possible near-miss targets on the signals. None of those have made the possible near-miss target at the moment. So looking really for 35.85, might find support in that area, might be a little lower. After that, I'd be leaning towards seeing another leg up into either a higher high than yesterday night, but sorry, night before last, but lower than this high here, or just a full retest of this high. Either way, we are pretty short on air here. So I'm not really expecting it to go much higher, and I'm not expecting it to close the month over 3,600. Do I have any thoughts on the Nikkei? As a matter of fact, I do. So hang on, wait a second. I'm just going to pull that up. Wait a second. All right, weekly chart, nothing. Daily chart, nothing. I've got a potential trend line. Don't know if it can make it, but this would be the ideal trend line, really. There are a couple of other options. Doesn't have to make it, but if I'm right, then we could see a move up here into about the 27,250 area. I've currently got pretty much no negative diversions, and I'm leaning towards it going higher. Is it breaking out of a 29-year base? Yeah, it is. And one thing I mentioned on Chart Chat a couple of years ago was that we were breaking up for a potential double bottom. Now, I don't know how that fits in with everything else, but you can see I've marked it in there. And if I expand, no, I don't want to expand another 10 years really, because the all-time high obviously was back in 1980. But I think the target here certainly would be in the 30,000. And what's that be? I'd reckon that's at about the 34,000 area. So this is a beautiful double bottom, which then converted into a beautiful IHS. And it's broken up, it's back tested, it hasn't invalidated the IHS, and it's on the way up. Yeah, could this spread break up? Yes. Equally, of course, whenever we break up from a pattern like this, there is a possibility of failure, but we've kind of already not done that. So actually, I'm thinking Nikkei may really have legs to the upside. We'll see. We don't have anything really in terms of, well, we're on a monthly RSI 14 sell signal. I'd be more impressed if it was an RSI 5 sell signal. Maybe. But I'm quite liking the upside here, and this does look like a breakup, and that is the pattern for the breakup. Okay, any more questions, guys? Yeah, my pleasure as always. So anyway, ideally today we go down to the weekly pivot, maybe a little lower, and we find a low somewhere there, and we start to rally up to retest yesterday's overnight high, Sunday's high, and then likely go down. We will see how that goes. I'm looking for an AM low today in the weekly pivot area or below. All right, my pleasure as always, guys. I will catch you later, and Stan and I will be watching this all day. So if there's anything nice and low, I will call it. All right, cheers, guys.